Hi guys, me again, and welcome to another video. Uh, Apologies for delay since the last one. Don't really have an excuse this time. Just laziness, really. Um, no, it's been a busy old time, but I assure you there's more content incoming, and so rest assured. But I'll touch more on that at the end of the video. That being said, let's crack on with this one, where I thought I'd talk about getting yourself out there when you're coming from obscurity. Um, what uh, what I was thinking was when I was submitting work, it was when I was submitting the Stone Curse to be considered for publication. I found the cover letter that was attached, and I was trying to make myself sound quote unquote professional, like a serious writer. But the thing was, I'd never had anything published, like not a short story in a magazine or a website or anything like that, and certainly not like a novel or anything. So I was trying to make myself sound like a professional, serious writer, but I had nothing to refer to, so I don't think it was really standing in my favour. So I decided to start changing up the wording of the email, the cover letter that I was putting at the front. So I thought I'd read one of those out to you today. I'm not saying what I'm about to read to you. I'm not saying that's the kind of thing you should be doing, and in fact, it's probably not what you should be doing. It's just what worked for me. I felt I felt more honest, and I felt I was projecting more of my personality, um, and I think that served me better than what I was doing before. Um, and I was still getting the sort of kind of generic thanks but no thanks sort of emails in reply. So I was still getting rejections, so that didn't help me in that regard. But every now and again, I got a more personable rejection, which it's still a no, but it's kind of someone clearly I made an impression enough for them to give some serious consideration um, to the book that I'd submitted. Uh, yeah, so I'll read you one of the an example of one of the kind of letters I started sending out. Okay, here goes. Hi there. My name is Nicholas Murray, an aspiring novelist from chilly old Edinburgh. I have, so far in life, only ever written for pleasure, an abundance of stories for an audience of one. But as I fast approach my 30th year, I've come to realise that nothing gives me greater pleasure in life than writing. And so finally I've committed to attempt to become a published author, and thus I present to you for your consideration my children's fantasy novel, Magus, which, as it was then called. I say that like I only wrote it yesterday, but in fact I've been working on this novel when I can for the better part of a year, after starting life as a short story I began 2 years ago. It was intended to be a gift for my niece, cousin and stepson, and is written in the style of the kind of books I loved as a child. The first book I ever fell in love with was The Hobbit, to the point of an obsession. I adored the world, the humour, the mythos that was merely hinted at back then. Lord of the Rings was still beyond me at that stage. And above all else, the journey. Looking back, I don't think I cared much for the plot, the reason for the quest, but the whole reason of the quest, but the journey and its events are what really resonated with me. I have written Magus in that vein. The story is purposely simple. On the surface, a means to step out the door, as a real meat and potatoes of the piece is the journey, the experiences on the road, the interactions between the main characters. I see it as a book that a parent and child could read together, the humour and style designed to be inclusive that way. At least I hope so anyway. I base this on my stepson's reaction to the book, as my partner has read the chapters to him as I have written them at bedtime. Meaning, at his bedtime, she was reading to them, not that I wrote chapters at bedtime. Anyway, although he could be angling for more pocket money, so who knows. I imagine this is the most unprofessional and scarcely to the point cover letter that you've ever received, and for that I can only apologise wholeheartedly. Any further information you require, I'd be happy to give. Please find attached the first 3 chapters of Magus, followed by a brief synopsis, which, unbelievably, I've found more a challenging project than the book itself. Kind regards, Nick. P.S. Apologies for the blue writing. I can't seem to turn it off, which was a real drama. And so yeah, so that was kind of the typical sort of thing that I sent out. And then when I started sending things like that out, like I say, by and large, I was still getting just the same typical rejection letters. But every now and again, I'd get one that was a bit more personable, which was appreciated. which kind of spurred me on as well. So yeah, again, I'm not saying this is the kind of thing you should be doing. It's I'm just saying what worked for me. And if you're coming from a position of of sheer obscurity, where you've never had anything published or a short story on a website or anything like that, then maybe give it a shot. It might work out for you as well. Uh, yeah, but that about does it for there. What I'll just add now then is a little bit self promotion, which is from a website, which will be launching imminently, quite possibly by the time this video goes up. Which, in which case, if it is, I'll leave a link in the description, and then you can go check it out. It's fibscribbler.com, and it's just all kinds of stuff that I'm up to creatively. Um, there'll be a whole bunch of stuff about the Stone Curse, obviously. So when the release date's finally given and it's coming out and stuff like that, with any promotions or events or anything like that, you'll find it there first on fibscribbler.com. But as I've been writing like that book, and I'm currently writing the sequel just now, I've accumulated a lot of sort of bits and bobs that I've kind of turned into short stories or whatnot. So I'm also going to be putting stuff like that up there, even poetry, which is a first for me, but it's something I've been dabbling in. So there'll be stuff like that there as well, and through that, things will spill over onto here as well. So you'll get more video content, and there's going to be a whole whack of stuff up there. Currently, when the website goes live, there'll be a blog or two, a short story, a poem, stuff like that. The whole general thing. So definitely check it out. And thanks very much for joining me again. If you enjoyed the video, if it was any way informative, or if you just enjoyed watching a man stumble over basic English, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and comment if you've got any ideas for future videos or got any questions or anything of that ilk. But that being said, thanks very much for joining me. Cheers.